technology that is built for your every sense. Acer Pure from Acer.
Well, one of the first leaders and global leaders who have extended birthday greetings to Prime Minister Narendra Modi is President of the United States of America. Remember, there has been series of commentary that has been done, series of allegations and accusations that has been raised. The good ties between India and the US that has been strained, but it seems that it is now coming back to normal when it comes to the icebreaker that is now being called between the two leaders, which is the U.S. President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Seems that this very occasion of the Prime Minister's birthday was a perfect start when we speak of this thaw in this relationship between the two leaders, as President Donald Trump dialed Prime Minister Narendra Modi to extend him birthday greetings. And of course, when it comes to the role that India has been playing when it comes to brokering peace and the efforts that has been made by Prime Minister Narendra Modi during the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Let's put out as far as what Donald Trump has said on his Truth Social account. And here is Donald Trump's message. He says that just had a wonderful phone call with my friend Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I wished him a very happy birthday. He's doing a tremendous job. Narendra, thank you for your support on ending the war between Russia and Ukraine, President Donald Trump. Well, that is on the first name basis, as he seems to be now talking about Prime Minister Narendra Modi there. Well, that has been some concept that has been consistent on part of President Trump, that he has been raising questions on India's policies as far as when it comes to purchase of Russian oil, but he has been consistently praising Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his leadership. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also responded there. Let's put out exactly what the Prime Minister now has to say when he has thanked President Donald Trump. And this has been significant as far as the war between Russia and Ukraine is concerned, because Prime Minister Modi is one of those very few and rare leaders who can actually reach out to both of the leaders, whether it comes to President Putin of Russia or President Zelensky of Ukraine. And both of the leaders have been in constant touch with Prime Minister Narendra Modi whenever there is a development. We have seen the phone conversations that happened between the leaders. We've seen the one-on-one meeting that also happened between President of Russia and Prime Minister Modi on the sidelines of the SCO summit in China. And this is how Prime Minister Narendra Modi has responded to President Trump, saying, "Thank you, my friend President Trump, for your phone call and warm greetings on my 75th birthday. Like you, I'm also fully committed to taking the India-US comprehensive and global partnership to new heights. We support your initiatives towards peaceful resolution of the Ukraine conflict." Well, that has been as far as when it comes to the Ukraine conflict, that has been mentioned both by President Trump and Prime Minister Modi. Let's get connected with Srinjoy now. Srinjoy, good morning. Was the perfect occasion, on the occasion of the Prime Minister's 75th birthday, that the two leaders actually had a conversation? They spoke to each other?
There's a lot of warmth between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump. One only hopes that translates into warmth in the relationship, which has sort of slowed down because of this tariff problems. And if there is similar warmth in the bilateral relationship, it will ensure a lot of forward movement. There are really two issues here that have to be looked at: relations between India and America. And there have been problems. In fact, the president himself said that he has lost India to China not that long ago. And now President Trump, being as unpredictable as he is, has of course wished Prime Minister Modi, and let's hope the relationship improves and gets better and better. Already there are signs. There is a delegation here. Trade talks are going on. As far as Russia-Ukraine is concerned, President Trump himself had said that he would end the war in a day. And let's hope some positive development really happens, because Prime Minister Modi has good relations with the Russians. He has good relations with the Ukrainians. He's been to Moscow. He's been to Kiev. And we know that President Putin is going to be in India later this year, possibly December. And it's entirely possible that President Zelensky will be here shortly after that. So as a result, India has a unique capability
Yes.
to ensure that at least some forward movement in the peace process takes place.
So India's work and the acknowledgement that is coming in from President Trump himself, what is being done by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in India taking a stand. This is something that Prime Minister Modi has said before, that it doesn't mean that India has no stand. India very much stands for peace and dialogue, and that is what has been India's continued position, whether it's speaking to both leaders of Russia and Ukraine. And the settlement, because of the reason of dialogue, is something that the Prime Minister continues to further his agenda when he speaks to both of the leaders, and this is being acknowledged by the President of the United States himself. Srinjoy, I appreciate you joining us here on the broadcast. But when we speak of how essential it is to recognize Donald Trump's recent outreach, that has reflected a significant change in the U.S. stance towards India, particularly in the light of the ongoing tariff disputes. Now, shortly after the Tianjin summit, Donald Trump lamented that U.S. has lost India and Russia to deepest, darkest China. That was not too long ago. However, he quickly shifted his tone, emphasizing the special relationship between the two countries, assuring that there is nothing to fear. He's also described India and Russia as dead economies previously then, but now maintains that Narendra Modi is doing a tremendous job. Just last month, when we speak of Peter Navarro, remember, he went on a tirade claiming that Ukraine conflict is essentially Modi's war and the path to peace runs from New Delhi. However, there has been a change of stand when we speak of the President Trump himself expressing gratitude to Prime Minister Modi for his crucial support in the efforts to resolve the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. And this comes right after the positive dialogue between the two countries that is taking place on the bilateral trade agreement.